Caroline, and welcome to What the Fuck Am I Reading? So this week I have basically finished another 6 books. Last week I've read 5, this week I read 6. I do have to say that one was really short, but I'm pretty okay with this rhythm now. Like, it feels right again. Though I have to say that I'm currently reading a book that is taking me a long time, even though I'm really enjoying it, but it's very dense, very eccentric, so it's taking me a long time. But we'll talk about that one next week. So, the first book that I finished was An Altar on the Village Green by Nathan Hall. This is a book that I told you that I was very 100% Dark Souls inspired. Yes, it was Dark Souls inspired, like whoa. But basically in this one, you're going to follow this man, and he is kind of baptized as a lance, meaning that he can basically drink the ichor from his god, and he is sent out there to kill horrors. For that, he is basically chained to an anchor, and every time he dies, time goes back and he's back into that chain. Literally like Dark Souls. Every single enemy is now resurrected and you have to fight them again. So you fight everything and don't die. This is dark fantasy, absolutely. More horror than dark fantasy sometimes, but still. Man, this is good. This is 100% what I was looking for when I said that I wanted something similar to Hellmouth. So if you like that, you're probably going to really like this one too. But it has like that, oh my god, I have to fight this huge evil and I'm not strong enough, I'm probably going to die. It's very hopeless. Sometimes he just accepts death, and others like he's very like torn because it's very painful to die actually and to come back. So he's just like, holy shit, not again. Also, each time he dies, he gets into the memories of other lances, and that kind of teaches something. It's very interesting, though I have to say those were like the least interesting parts for me. I was just really invested on the now, on the right now. So I really wanted to know what happened in this village in general. But some of the those flashbacks were really interesting. Also, each time you die, it's very it becomes harder to just find your way back. So each of these flashbacks were longer and longer, which every single time that he died. So I was a little bit more annoyed every single time because I wanted to go back to the main history, but they were longer. So bye. But still, I really liked it overall. Horror elements right on point. Like, there's gore everywhere in this book. Everywhere. Careful with that if you don't like that. But yeah, I just really liked it overall. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I actually really like how it ended, and I'm pretty excited to know the rest. But yeah, if you like that kind of game mechanic, you're probably going to love this. If you've been playing Elden Ring, you can pair it with this because you will probably enjoy it more. Then I finished Beyond Redemption by Michael R. Fletcher, which is book 1 in the Manifest Illusions duology. I do really need to get my hands on the second one, and I will probably just listen to the other book as with this one. This is interesting. I have read most of Michael R. Fletcher's books by now. I'm a huge fan. He's a great dark fantasy author. Like, he's so good at this. So the thing that caught my eye with this book, basically, for some reason, I thought it was a fucking Western for this cover. So for a long time, I was just putting it off, being just like, I'm not interested. But it definitely is not. It's just dark fantasy. So the thing is, in this world, you can basically manifest things if you believe in them. So gods do not make people. People made the gods. That's the best analogy for it. It's just super good. There's a great discussion on what belief is and fate. Like, can I fight this if everyone believes that I will fail and stuff like that? It's just super cool. So the magic system was great. It's very dark. I think that is more grimdark than his other books, honestly. Though I have to say, Blackstone Heart is really dark also, but I really like that one compared to this one. So the beginning, I don't know why, but it didn't have me like really hooked, but towards the end I was more invested. I do have to say that the character that I liked the most was oh my god, I cannot really think about the name, but the one who was making the god experiment. I was super interested in that character. He also is a was it Reflections of Mirrors? I don't remember, but he basically has clones of himself with different attributes of parts of him, and he also is able to have just like his clone in the mirror. It's just super weird. It's like, it's very difficult to understand and to explain. The magic in this book is fucking great. I really liked it in general. The best part of it, the plot was a bit weak, in my opinion. Like, you just have to follow along. They're basically trying to create a new god, and he is kidnapped and they have to bring it back. It's just like that. And sometimes it was just, it felt like you were just waiting for things to happen. So that's why I basically ended up giving it 4 stars. But definitely my favorite part, the magic system. Holy shit, that was so cool. So if you're looking for another deck fantasy, probably going to love this. Then I read Manhunt. What a fucking ride of a book. I haven't felt this uncomfortable since reading Tender is the Flesh, and things have gotten worse since we last spoke. That author has come out with another book. I really need to read it. But damn, this is a sci-fi dystopia where men have basically become feral, and they rape and killed everything that they see, basically. And you're going to follow this group of trans men and women, and they are being handed down by TERFs. Sounds hilarious, but it's actually fucking dark. Dark as hell. It made me super uncomfortable sometimes. There are also a lot of sex scenes here, which I'm very uncomfortable in general. I just don't like sex scenes in books. They made me cringe. It's not like they made me uncomfortable, they just made me cringe so badly that I just go like I just don't like them. So that part, very awkward. Not uncomfortable, awkward. That's the word that I was looking for. But damn, this was super dark. Like, oof, it's the right type of uncomfortable in my opinion, but it's definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Like, whoa, sometimes it's just over the top. But overall, I really liked it. Holy fuck TERFs. So yeah, I also gave it 4 stars. This is going to be the wrap-up of the 4 stars. But if you're thinking about reading it, just do it. It's just... Then I read Silk Hills. I'm not going to talk about this one much in depth because I still need to make my review. I had this through NetGalley because it's an arc of a graphic novel that is coming out in May, I believe, but it's a horror graphic novel, and you know that I'm very into those ones as of late. So it's basically about it used to be a military lady, and now she is looking after this guy's son, and she comes across this town called Silk Hills, and has to go there and find him, and it's just so weird. It's also very graphically disgusting, which is weird because I usually don't mind that, but some things were just so fucking grotesque. I fucking hate them. There's a deer with the face of a person in here, like this, the head of the deer. Well, in the fucking neck, there's a head of a person. And it was just so disgusting for some reason. I just couldn't fathom it. I was like, God, this is fucking disgusting. Also, moths all around. I fucking hate bugs. Fucking hate bugs. So when you have like something about fucking moths, damn. This is definitely going to continue. I don't know if I will read the sequel, honestly, but you know, who knows? I'm very into horror graphic novels, so probably. But yeah, overall I give it like 3 stars, 3.5, I don't know, probably 3 stars. I think I might round it down, but it was very weird. Like, that's the thing, it was very weird. Then I read Andrew Rowe's new book, Death Game Quality Assurance, which is basically about what would happen with a group of developers, well, not developers, testers, if something like Sword Art Online happened. Like, if you couldn't disconnect from your game, and if you disconnect, you will die. Something like that. Is humorous. It's basically, yeah, you follow chat logs. There's not a direct dialogue. It was fun. I don't have to say that it was fun, but it's also very, very short. Like, the audiobook's not even 2 hours long, I think, or if it is, it's 2 hours and a half at most. So it felt really short. So for that, I ended up giving it 3.5. But if you're looking for a good time, go ahead. It's very Rose style. Like, it feels like it. Like, you can see it. You can see these developers, well, these testers, testing like Sufficient Elizabeth's Magic, for example. It feels good with the universe. But yeah, it was funny enough. It's going to be a series. We'll probably listen to the rest of them because, you know, super funny in general. And the last book that I read was We Men of Ash and Shadow, which I have here and I don't know why I'm not holding. I literally just recorded a review for this and I think it's going to be up before this video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much because you can check that review here. Let's just hope that I did. But I ended up giving this one 4 stars. You're basically going to follow Vanguard. He's kind of an assassin and he's tasked by his employer to just take down these criminals in the city. It's very much a story about a murder mystery because he cannot find the killer of these 2 guards. I did like it overall. I mean, I gave it 4 stars, but there were some things that really were not on my usual taste. Like, for example, a very low fantasy in general, like barely any magic on it. The world building, very stuck in the city. So I still have to say that this is cool, but those parts were really, like, I missed them a lot. So besides that, in general, I actually really liked it. Felt really much like a gang story, like a gangster story. So yeah, you should definitely try it. It's also set on a more modern era, industrial type of era. So that is actually cool. Something like Foundry Side, or it reminded me a lot of Priest of Lies, Peaky Blinders, something like that. So if that sounds interesting, I will highly recommend that you try it. But yeah, give it 4 stars. It's good. 100% will continue with the series. But yeah, overall good. So yeah, those were basically all the books that I finished this week. Have you finished any books? Have you started any? Are you reading some? Please, as always, just let me know down in the comments below. But as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.